Welcome to the 8 to 5 Insights, the podcast that peels off the glossy layers of the corporate and takes a look at what's actually happening at work. I'm your host, Neo Ratagati, the Zulu Princess, and today we are asking slightly uncomfortable questions on what happens when humans are led by people that are trained to manage money, to manage projects, and not persons. That's the missing C in the C-suite. Uncomfortable, isn't it? Why is it that communication professionals are almost never in the C-suite, while finance and engineering professionals dominate it, even though their education rarely touches on anything to do with how humans actually function at work? Communication, real communication, is still being seen as a soft skill, a nice to have. When crisis hits the company or when PR needs polishing, that's when people remember that, they are communicators in their departments called public relations or communications. It's ironic how we continue to undervalue how human-to-human skills are very crucial in this time. This is a time when organizations live or die based on how they connect with people. That is their employees, their customers, even the society and community that they operate in. Meanwhile, the finance architects or your business architects are often operating with blind spots, not because they're incompetent, far from it. They are brilliant with spreadsheets, they are brilliant with ratios, they are brilliant with forecasts, but they could learn a thing or two about humans. So most finance curricula, if you're to look at it, never touches on philosophy, never touches on psychology, never touches on sociology. There is no class on the complexities of power. There is no class on the issues to do with gender or identity or group behavior. There is no module on how narratives shape belief or how language can build or break trust. Something as simple as language. Yet these are the dynamics that are at play in leadership. Leadership is not about decisions. It's not just that. Leaders are interpreters of meaning. They set tone. They manage emotion. They craft visions. I don't think that's accounting. I think that's anthropology. If humans are some form of resources, as we call them, then they don't require LIFO-FIFO. They require empathy. And so when leadership is dominated by those trained to optimize numbers rather than navigate people, we end up with cultures where performance trumps purpose and communication becomes an afterthought. It becomes a press release instead of a practice. And someone will ask, Neo, why are we even discussing this? We're discussing ESG, environmental, social governance. Under the ESG framework, the best executive team that you would have is one that is thinking and deliberating on the moral consequences of company decisions, ensuring that the company is in good books with its employees and customers and the community that it operates in. Simply put, organizations need balance sheets the same way that they need social balance at the top. Imagine if more CFOs were trained in discourse analysis. Yes, discourse analysis. Or having a CEO who has read the Twilight Saga or follows one of Shonda Rhimes' series. Imagine how the workplace would be for people who are already in leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, especially those with finance or technical background, it's time to stretch. Stop treating communications as decoration. Communication is strategy. Communication is power. It belongs at the top of the table. Take a course in organizational communication, read outside your lane, read outside your field, pick up a book on human behavior, pick up a book on language, on identity, on leadership psychology. It won't make you less financial. It won't make you less technical. It will make you more human. Let me end this with my truth. Numbers don't move people, but stories do. And if you want to lead in a world where attention is short, where trust is fragile, where employees want meaning, then you better be more fluent in more than just return on investment, revenue generation, you name all those terms. Anyway, before I ruffle feathers, that's it for today's 8 to 5 Insights. If you found this thought-provoking, if you find it worth sharing, Share with someone who sits in a meeting thinking, why is no one talking about how people actually feel in this organization? I'm Neo Batakati, and until next time, keep asking the uncomfortable questions.